Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dr. Thakerath Matthew. I am an interventional cardiologist at Rochester General Hospital. I have been watching the presidential election very closely. I have several concerns which I thought I will share with you. Ladies and gentlemen, the election for the next US president is already on the move. You have heard several debates on television from different candidates. No matter what, come January, a man or a woman will be elected as the President of the United States. But I want to remind that person, when he or she takes the oath of the office, it is the President of the United States and not the Commander-in-Chief of the whole universe. Remember, the mighty United States of America is a small piece in the world population. It is only 1/20th of the world population. That population itself is not a very healthy population. More than 50% of the population is above the age of 60. That would mean there is no more hospital beds, social security, health care, and the like. From the remaining workforce, 2 million people are already in jail. For each person in the jail, this nation has to shed nearly $500,000 per year in terms of maintenance, security, and legal matters. We already have taken out 400,000 men and women from this workforce to be peacekeeping forces in the rest of the world. Iraq, Afghanistan, Japan, South Korea, Germany, and the remaining portions of the world. Now, United States is really one of the poorest among the 8 major industrialized nations of the world. Remember, Mr. President, we Americans are probably not the most cost-effective people in the whole world. We are Americans, we are very good consumers. We are probably the population with the biggest body mass index in the whole world. We eat all kinds of cheese, produces Big Mac, this and that and the other. And when you become the president, you will be the president of a population bearing the biggest body mass index in the whole world. Tell me one reason, Mr. President, why the United States has to be the flea market of the whole world. Any kind of products and producers made anywhere in the rest of the world is brought over here. For every one US child, 20 toys are imported from China and the rest, and that too contaminated by lead and nickel. Tell me one reason why cat food has got to be imported from China. Why fruit juice has to be imported from China. Remember, this is the United States of America, the breadbasket of the world. This is also the nation or the greatest generation of the world. And now we have to import people from Dubai to take care of our borders. Mr. President, do we need all these cars to be imported from Korea, Japan, and the rest of the world? Do we need all these electronic utensils to be imported from the rest of the world? Do we need all the AK-47 to be imported from China? Tell me one reason. How many animals are hunted down by an AK-47? Is it used for hunting or is it used for killing people in the school and public places? Tell me one reason why we should have AK-47 in this nation. The police force do not have it. Why then this gun, a lethal weapon, should be in the hands of the people? Tell me one reason, just for my own sake. Mr. President, tell me about the entitlements we give to the rest of the world. $10 billion for Israel. Last year we gave $10 billion for Pakistan, $3 billion for Egypt, $2 billion for Palestinians, and another $50 billion in bits and pieces to the different parts of the world. The premise is that you give this or we give this to keep peace. Tell me one reason. Why should they stop fighting the war if we are giving money to them to stop the war? Once the war is stopped, they won't get any more money. And therefore, they have a built-in reason to get the money and keep on fighting so that the mighty USA will give them more and more and more billions. Remember, in Washington, you don't bring money from your own home. Whatever money you deal with are we the people's money, our tax money. and therefore you should have diligence in utilizing them. You should not be sending money abroad to ignite war between different people. You spent $10 billion last year to Pakistan to wage a war against the Taliban. Who is winning now? Tell me, Mr. President, who is winning now? That is a mistake, and we should use the money diligently for the rest of the world. Mr. President, look at me. This glass, this is made in Korea. This coat, made in Canada. This tie in China. This shirt in China. The banyan and the underwear I am wearing is made in China. This trousers made in Korea, and my shoes made in China. If the Chinese ship is delayed to come to USA for a week, there will be a lot of people in USA without banyan or underwear. So over a period of time, due to extremely poor policy, you have created a nation of consumers. You have created a nation of flea marketeers. The thing which you should do is you have to limit the import. Mr. President, more than 50% of the cars which we drive in United States is imported. Imported from Japan, imported from Korea, now getting imported from China. There are lots and lots and lots of millionaires in this country. They can afford the highest quality Mercedes-Benz, the highest quality foreign cars. Let them pay a very high import tax. Some of the sports people were making 5 million, 6 million, for example, and the film industry people making 20, 30 million. If they want to drive a Rolls-Royce, let them pay $1 million, and the remaining money should come as import tax. There are several other nations, including the big 8 industrial nations, who have very significant import tax. That is the only way you can reduce the influx of the foreign goods to this country. If anybody can bring anything they want, and if they can sell this to the people, we will be going down the drain. We will be a nation of consumers. We just do not need that. We need some kind of a diligence. You are talking about a lot of issues in this election, like Roe versus Wade, like the Mormons, like the Christian fundamentalists. Tell me what is the problem here. Tell me something. 20 years back, there were some 64,000 jobs in Kodak. There were some 24,000 jobs in Xerox. What happened to all of them? All those jobs are gone. Even Kodak had a manufacturing plant in China. All our jobs have gone abroad. This country, if it has got to improve, there has got to be a job. A job means a house. A job means a car. A job means purchase of television, radios, and above all, a job means a tax-paying citizen in this country. Therefore, if this country has got to improve, you have got to think about job. You have to bring the job back to this country. It is not Roe versus Wade. It is not the Huckabee fundamentalism, or it is not the Mormons. That's not the issue. We need somebody who should be the CEO of this nation, who has to understand economics. Job. Job means prosperity. You see, as I told you before, we are not the most cost-effective people in this world. We cannot fight with the Chinese and the Koreans and the Japanese in terms of work ethics. The greatest generation is all dead and gone, most of them. And the old, hard-working Americans, they are also gone. We in Union have created a huge big population which is getting obese and obese and obese. And there is no incentive for work. And therefore, there should be incentive for work. There has got to be very strict import taxes for all the things which is imported to this country, and so that there should be a competition. There should be incentives. Mr. President, to fix the problem, we have to create jobs. It is not by taxing the rich. We have to create jobs here. We have to increase productivity here. We have to give protection for the American citizenry. I have got a lot more to talk, maybe in another session. Thank you for listening.